Hey everybody, it's Kyle. Hey, today I want to do a quick video because I got asked a question yesterday that I found kind of interesting. And the question I got asked, and it really made me think a little bit, was if your sister had a son or a daughter that was just not diagnosed on the autism spectrum, what would you tell them? What would be something that would help them the most? And if it was one of the first things they heard. And I found that an interesting question because I really had to think through that a little bit. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized I could kind of break it down into three things. And I guess the first was that you probably shouldn't have any false expectations. Your expectations should be based on reality, and the reality is it's going to be hard. There's going to be things that happen to you and things that you're going to face. They're going to be difficult. There's going to be frustration in your life. There's going to be tension. You're going to be upset, and there's going to be a lot of tears. There's a good chance that it's going to tear your family apart, not just your extended family, but quite possibly even your immediate family if you let it. There's a good chance if you let it, it's going to cause suffering for not just your child on the spectrum, but possibly their brothers and sisters because of some of the sacrifices you guys will have to make if you let it. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be hard, and I think going into it with false expectations or thinking you're going to fix the situation or everything's going to be peachy and easy and you'll manage it without a lot of trial and stress and struggle is a bad expectation. So I think that would be the first thing I would suggest. But at the same time, I would also say that you're going to have opportunities for immense growth. You're going to learn to love in a way you've never loved before, I think. And it can also bring you closer together as a family. And that kind of leads me to the second thing I think I would tell my sister, which would be you need to decide right now that you're going to do what you have to do to decide to be happy in your situation. With all the things that happen to us, it's easy to fall into a trap of depression, and it can be overwhelming. There's a lot of things that we have to think about that others may not. And so if you can up front decide that you're going to be happy as you go through the experiences, I think it's going to be very helpful. You know, we have this philosophy in our home called the get philosophy. And if you've got to experience something, you're either going to get frustrated or annoyed or upset or depressed, or you're going to get just the opposite. You're going to get joy out of your life, and you're going to get the lessons and learn the lessons, and you're going to get smarter and get you're going to get the good stuff. And so we've decided as a family that we're going to get the good stuff. We're going to be happy as we face the challenges that we face. And the third thing that leads me to directly into is this. And I'll share with you a real quick experience. And I think I've talked about this before. But these kids deserve your very best. And they deserve and need your very best when things get their very worst. And I'll give you a quick example of that. You know, when your kids are having meltdowns or things are going horribly wrong for them, that's when they need you to do what's very best for them and not lose control of yourself or control of your emotions. You've got to put yourself in a state that serves them absolutely the best when it's the hardest for them. And I was reminded of this a few years ago when I did I did a speaking engagement at an event, and after the presentation, I had a couple of young men walk up to me who were on the autism spectrum, who happened to be in my presentation and were sitting in the back of the room. And one of them, I think two of them are probably not very verbal. One of them was a little bit verbal and was able to share with me a message, and he said to me that he wished his parents knew the principles and the techniques that I was teaching. And when I asked him why, he said because then they would have been happy. And in having some more discussion with him and trying to figure out why he felt this way, it dawned on me that their unhappiness, he thought their unhappiness was based on the fact that he was on the autism spectrum, and he thought it made them unhappy, and therefore he was making them unhappy, and he felt like he was the cause of a lot of their unhappiness in their life, and he had to live with that for quite a while, and it was very difficult for him. Obviously, he had some other challenges, but thinking that you're the reason your parents aren't happy is, I would imagine, is brutal. And so they deserve your best, and they deserve to see you at your best and happy, and let them know that they add joy and bring joy to your life. And so those are the three things I think I would share with my sister, is don't have false expectations. It's going to be hard, but it's also going to be rewarding if you let it. Second is decide to be happy. Being happy is a decision. It's always the road to happiness is always in a construction. But I think if you make that a goal and set that as a parameter for how you live your life, then you're going to have a much better chance of being happy even as you face those trials. And third is they deserve your best. And you've got to put yourself in a position where you can give them their best when it gets the hardest. And so hopefully that's helpful. That's what I would tell my own sister. And so, I just wanted to share that with you. Hopefully you've got something out of it. Maybe you can make some changes, or maybe you agree totally, and maybe you can add to the list. So let me know. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.